Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Lucilla. I've returned to Portugal after a 3 years absent with my partner Paolo to stay at his family home in central Portugal. We also took this opportunity to visit a narrow swath of the Alentejo region in southern Portugal, making our way just miles from the Spanish border in the east and eventually ending up in the coastal Atlantic side. Come join Paolo and me on this little adventure to the Alentejo region. Okay, our first stop for today is Estremoz. Yesterday we toured around Évra's historic city center. Today we left Évra behind to explore this varied and beautiful region. We passed small towns and villages on the way. It's a pretty cool place with a single-story homes, both sides of the street. At Estremoz, we drove directly to the fortified upper town at the top of the hill. The road was surrounded by vineyards, no doubt producing world-renowned wines. It's really neat. Going up to the castle, and you have these grapevines planted all the way up. Inside the upper town, we walked towards the castle, entering it by the main gate.
Some construction going on in here right now.
We could see the 13th century marble tower rising to 89 feet. What is it? Oh,
Marble.
Marble set within stone?
Set within a mortar compound.
Oh, set within a mortar compound. Do you think that's original? From the top of the castle ground, a view of the city of Estremoz can be seen. Portugal exports marble, and around 90% of it is quarried around Estremoz. So, this tower is all marble. It's made up of all marble.
I don't see too many of those. Marble is usually used more as a finishing touch. This is all structurally marble.
It's not part of the Posada, the Reina Santa Isabel. The tower and the adjoining castle, now a posada, were closed while we were there. But when opened, visitors can climb inside the tower all the way to the top for a 360 degrees view of the surrounding city and countryside. After a stroll around the castle courtyard, we turned back to the upper town just outside of the castle gate. The Moorish influence could be seen in the cube-like white houses. These little, they're so cute.
Those things?
Yeah.
They're vegetables.
Did the road builders of the Middle Ages think that centuries later that these alleyways will be wide enough to accommodate 21st century vehicles? I think not.
The chimneys are all the same on either side.
Yeah, the
This is
chimneys.
a row housing. So you got some people that live downstairs and some people that live upstairs.
Let's see. We walked by the cube-like white Alentejan houses, all lined up in a grid, many in desperate need of renovation and restoration as an important cultural heritage.
Anything here anymore.
have been a shrine.
Yeah.
Look, there's the sign of the
Christian
cross
cross.
there. Yeah. After our tour of the upper town, we got back into the car and drove inside the castle keep. We drove around the tower and palace and took a road that led to the other side. I think in the height of the summer season, tourist season, you would never be able to do that. We can do this because there's hardly anyone here, and so the alleys are empty. Otherwise, it'd be very difficult with lots of people, lots of visitors streaming by. Oh, what are these? These are
called amphoras.
oh, like amphors,
Yeah.
amphor jars.
Yeah. And they are used for the storage of wine and
Or olive oil
olive oil as well. Yes.
and other props, dry goods,
Yeah.
dry
But,
like
the region of
lentils.
Alentejo.
Are you sure we're able to drive down here?
Yeah, as long as we don't go off this ledge over here, but I think we should be okay.
Oh my gosh. After passing through the castle gate, the road led us down towards the city center below.
So should I go down this way?
Yeah, the center. Okay, so here we are. We walked around looking for a cafe to sit down for a late breakfast. Yeah.
Sit inside. This is sweet.
Sweet?
And this is the one that's got meat in it. Meat patty.
Yeah. Well, we also ordered ham and cheese, but I think it's hot. You gotta wait for it to.
That's good because
Oh,
gooey cheese.
it might last us until like an early dinner. This cafe was rather interesting. As we were preparing to leave, it dawned on us that this cafe was a gathering place for women. The clouds have rolled in, but while it was still rain-free, we strolled along the main streets and the main square. Like the buildings at the castle, many historic and new buildings are made of marble or have marble touches in the window or door frames and steps, and fountains made of marble. Marble is quarried close by. On our way out of the city of Estremoz, there were quarries with slabs of marbles piled on top of each other.
It's quite an interesting building because the design is all over the place. There's no symmetry.
It's 12:30, and we've been basically walked around a bit. Then the clouds were moving in, and then the sky just opened, and the rain started to pour. So we're just gonna hang out around city for a while. We're just gonna go drive around for a bit because we're waiting for a service technician that budget has assigned to this car. So we're renting this car from Budget Avis, and we noted that when we drove off the lot, a few hours after we drove off the lot, there was a yellow warning light that went on, and so we're concerned about that. So we called them after a few tries, and they said that they are going to send a service technician to take a look at it. So we're back on the road again.
Yeah, hopefully The issue with the light on the dash is gone. You put in close to 2 liters of oil. So that's for a 3-cylinder engine. That's pretty low level. So I don't know how many liters it takes, but that's pretty low.
Need that as a make, set that aside. We're actually on our way to Monsaraz. We're on our way to Monsaraz.
Lost Hamlet.
So we have just reached our destination of Monsaraz, and we are going to drive up all the way to the hilltop fort castle, where on a very good day you would see a large vantage point of Alentejo. But today is not really a good day because it started to rain again. It's cloudy, it's overcast. Our first view of the medieval wall town of Monsaraz, perched high above the river Guadiana on the border with Spain. This strategic location has determined its destiny as a fortified keep since it was built in the 13th century. It commands unobstructed views of the horizons. From the town, we walked up to the castle. A light sprinkling of rain did not deter us to explore the castle grounds. I was saying that this would have been quite a place to have dinner, a meal with a view of the valley below.
I'll say.
It's one of the most popular tourist spots in Portugal, according to the Lonely Planet guidebook.
You can just tell by the amount of souvenirs and shops that are around.
Olá.
Hola! It's a very pretty town.
Oh yeah. It's got a lot of character, extreme character to the max.
It's been restored. It's in the process of being restored.
Continually being restored.
Continually being restored. No wonder this is a very popular tourist stop.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of places for you to stay.
And places to eat, with scenic views of the valley below. And it's a little
right now
disconcerting that it's just you and I right
we
now.
have it all to ourselves. It's beautiful.
Exactly.
I don't think we'll ever be able to enjoy this again. Provided this pandemic just sort of goes away. Mind you, it is winter, so I don't know, maybe winter just typically like this. But right now it's really nice. In the summertime, it's going to be very pleasant over here as well, except those really hot days.
A walk around the top of the battlements gave an enchanting view of the river and plains down below. At the foot of the keep was the garrison courtyard, which in the recent past has been used as a bullring, testifying to the history of bullfighting in Portugal. We explored the castle defensive structures built to defend against Spanish border incursions. Monsaraz has known turbulent times, with Moors, Romans, and Celtic tribes controlling the town at various times in its history. The houses below the castle were built in the 17th and 18th century. The street we were on took us to a lookout point with majestic views of the plains and river. Across from the river, the town of Moran is just a few miles away. As late afternoon descended on us, we decided to drive across the 20-year-old Alcueva Reservoir to check out the town's 14th century castle. We're going to cross that bridge to the other side, and that's where Moran is located. Paulo, what is the history of this bridge? Why did they have to build this bridge?
There's a river that was going through here, or several rivers, or some sort of tributaries of rivers that was going through here, and then they built a dam a little bit further down, and this whole area over here got flooded. So they had to, obviously, it was all planned out. Something they just flooded and decided, oh, I think we need to get across. But it's all planned out that way. So this is Rio Guadiana, which is the river that divides Portugal from Spain. We could probably sail here, won't we? I'm sure we can.
Here we are at the castle of Moran. One of the guidebooks we read, this castle could be dated back to the 8th century.
So this looks like there's two walls from two different stages. The lower wall looks like an earlier wall that was built centuries before the upper walls were. You can, I think, I have to research on that a little bit more, but from the corners on the upper walls on these towers, it's a better cut stone, granite, so it's a straight cut stone, whereas before it was more just breaking off stones from a big boulder and just pile them up together to create the walls. So where the other ones are more defined, more refined.
The church bell signaled to us that it was time to head back. Well, our day tour is almost over, Paulo.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit that notification button to see more upcoming videos of our stay in Portugal.